Hey guys, I'm TangyTango TeamTang. So some of you may know that some of us went to the EXPO in London on the 1st of October. I was planning to do a video on what we did and thought and stuff, so what I mean is I go through everything we recorded and played and just talk about what we did step by step kind of, but I thought that was kind of pointless, so what I'm going to do is make separate videos on individual games that I've tried and kind of give my opinions on them, because it's all about the games. Talk about step by step on everything we've done is really boring, it's kind of pointless, so what I'm going to do is make those individual videos on the big games and kind of compile every other leftover footage we have into one video. So for the first video I'll be talking about LittleBigPlanet 2. I didn't actually play it myself, but I did go to the developer session with Danny Lever and John Beach, I think, from Media Molecule. That's them on the bottom right of the video if you're watching it. And there was also two other people from the LittleBigPlanet 2 community on the bottom left, and they were playing the game on screen, giving us a demonstration how it runs and everything. And there were two main things that they talked about in the developer session. One, they talked about the main game and what the developers made, that whole game in general, and the whole community side of the game and what you can do, what you can build, etc. But they mainly try to promote the whole community side of things. They say that all the levels in LittleBigPlanet 2 was made by the tools in the game and not actually by a computer, so anything they make can be done by the community themselves. Probably the biggest difference is that there are a lot more tools than LittleBigPlanet 1. The tools display has been simplified, so it's a lot easier to use now. Also, the learning curve is a lot smaller, so any newcomers trying to build their own creations will have an easier time. There's a cool feature that you can play a game within LittleBigPlanet 2. I'm not sure if it's in LittleBigPlanet 1, if it's possible or not, because I haven't actually played it properly yet. But in the presentation they were playing Pong, which was pretty cool. And I'm not sure about this, but the minigames within LittleBigPlanet 2 were created within the game, so I believe it should be possible to create your own kind of game, your own type of minigame within LittleBigPlanet 2 where everyone else can play it. So for example, you can create a football game or whatever you want using all the tools you can use in LittleBigPlanet 2. Halfway through the sessions, the developers asked the audience to give some ideas to what they can build on stage, so any suggestions that were given, they would attempt to create it. So some suggestions that I can remember were vomit cheese, apple tanks and zombie pandas. So the two community guys on stage managed to create these things quite well. The tanks didn't work so well actually, but given the fact that I were given about half an hour to create these things, I was pretty impressed. Oh, another suggestion was to create Sainsbury's, which for anyone who doesn't know is a supermarket in England, but they didn't have a proper way to make it, so instead we used a webcam on the PS3, I don't know what it's called, took a shot of shopping bag of Sainsbury's and placed the image onto the scene, which was pretty cool. The quality and size of the webcam won't allow for some good high resolution shots, but I'm sure with some imaginations the webcam can be used quite well. I'm not sure if this feature is already in the first LittleBigPlanet, as I never really got into it. That's all I can remember about LittleBigPlanet 2 developer session, so in conclusion, the game looks really impressive. The extra amount of tools that you're given, and features as well, really make the game more flexible than the original. To be honest, I don't own a PS3, but if I did, LittleBigPlanet would be one of the games I would own. And I believe there's a demo out on the PS3, so check it out and have a try for yourself. Also, I will be making more Eurogaming videos like this on different games, so for example, I've played Fable 3, GoldenEye and Brink, and if I can remember any more, there'll be more videos of my first impressions, so hope you enjoyed. See ya.